Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the man himself from New York. Hit that camera. It could be no other way. It could be no other way. We might have a Travu today.
Hey, man.
We might do make it. We could do make it racist. Sam Lyons in at 9 a.m. Do some recasting call with Goodfellas. My name's Chris Edmonds. We are live. Mid-Coast Studio in Grand Center. I've got a fancy shirt on today. I'm rocking my Hopper look. And joining me in studio, the Stream Queen himself, the executive producer. Oh, he's floating. Look at him. Well, I don't know how cameras work.
Stop that.
Hey. Hey. Can you high-five me?
I don't know. Wait, hold on. I got to go.
Ooh,
Okay. 1, 2, 3. That worked pretty well.
Not really. The great Chris Gardner's in studio. How are you, sir?
Good morning, gentleman. And good morning, Walnuts. And I wouldn't have this return from New York any other way.
It's the only way we can do
way.
it. Right.
What's the hawk? What hawk?
Hudson, the actual Hudson Hawk.
Oh.
Finally. Right?
Time change hawk. Jet lag hawk. Uber's late hawk.
Partially somehow my fault, Hawk.
Uh-huh.
Privilege will be brought up.
White man hawk.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll get into that and more. Excited to have Sam Lyons in. I wanted to just jump right into it. I had a super busy day yesterday, Gardner. Finished the night at Project Wake Up's private screening of their new documentary. It's a mental health documentary. I'll just say this. They filled the Chase, not just the big theater. The dude with the organ was there.
Oh,
pretty
that's
exciting.
nice.
Yeah. They've been working on this for 4.5 years. So I wanted to start off with something a little positive today. Very successful. So you're familiar with the Chase, right?
Yes.
I feel like you've probably gotten drunk in there a few times back in the day.
I have.
Okay, so there's...
I actually know people that aren't allowed in there anymore.
Good for you and them. 5 theaters total? 3.
I think 5 sounds about right.
I think it's 5. So I go in, and there's just a horde of people. The great Tom Duff and Debbie from St. Louis Counseling were there. A lot of fun people. Saw Dan Buffa. Saw a lot of friends of the show that were around. I think I might have seen Hannah as well. I can't remember if it was her or not. Either way, packed at the Chase, and I'm looking around. I'm thinking, this is too many people to fit inside the big theater. They filled all 5 theaters. Again, private screening, 4.5-year mental health documentary in the making, and that was their second private screening, and the other one was full as well. So huge congrats to Project Wake Up on that.
Yeah, I saw some pictures from their first private screening.
Yeah. It's important to say private screening, by the way, because if there's tickets sold or anything else, they ain't going to Sundance, and they're working on going to Sundance.
Oh, that would be...
It's a big deal.
That would be something.
That's right up there with getting booked on We Are Live.
Anyway,
Why are you so quiet?
I just was looking for...
No, so huge shout out to them. Danny Kurth, Alex Lindley, got that going. Nate Townsend directed it, and it was just a beautiful, amazing thing. And I hope that it does get to Netflix so more people see it because it was extremely informative. That's how I ended my day. We also had
Congrats to those folks.
Yeah, huge congrats on the success of that, but also just the fact that they put that into it and that, like, legitimately, there was story to it. The cinematography was amazing. There's a lot of learning, a lot of numbers involved. It was entertaining. It was artsy. It was good. It was very good. Even the score was quite relevant.
I remember seeing they did a teaser
They had
trailer.
a trailer, yeah.
At a comedy at Chaminade, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's what I and that was even gripping then. So I can only imagine what the finished product is now.
Oh, it was amazing. And I genuinely think like that is their goal to get major distribution. They've got a production company, all this stuff. It would surprise me. I've seen way worse produced, and I mean that in a positive way, as in from a quality standpoint, it certainly seemed to pass the smell test.
Yeah.
So very excited for Project Wake Up. shouting them out in the comments. If you guys want to donate, they're always accepting donations, and that's very well sourced for what they use that money for. So big shout out to them. Had a wonderful time last night. Weird news yesterday. Oddly personal that a bar closing would affect us. I got more texts about some tough news in the We Are Live family. Yesterday, Southtown Club closed its doors hours before our comedy show, which, in the grand scheme of things, a family owned that, and some people lost jobs and everything else. But they were great partners of ours for, 3 years, as long as you've known us.
Yeah.
Did our first anniversary party there. Had so many good memories. The comedy show turned into this animal of its own, too. It's been a really cool thing that people across the country are aware of because of that space and the fun that we had there. So unexpectedly shut down. We have some really cool news. We have some cool news next week about the comedy series to get into, but I don't want to be like, hey, screw that. Tough whenever a business goes down. That's a bar business, and I feel terrible for them. But shout out to Sam and Paul for all the good times we had at Southtown. But it is true, it's closed, and we won't be doing comedy there. But Gaslight stepped up last night. Was thinking, do you think I should get like a resilience award for texting some people and them doing a show while I was at a documentary screening?
You just seem distracted then.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of ways to look at it.
I think I deserve.
I can spin it any way you want. If you want me to spin resilience, I can.
I like resilience. I like me being the center of attention.
Okay, so then we say multitasking.
I multitask
instead of distracted, and boom, there automatically the narrative begins to shift.
Right, that's true. Okay,
that's all. Just you can make it however you want. So I said no initially to what you were saying, even before I heard you finish your statement. But the answer, of course, is yes, we can make that happen because we just need the proper narrative driven into people's heads, and then you get that award.
Okay. So let's make sure we have all the proper authorities alerted. A astounding.
A what?
The show moved to Gaslight yesterday. Our friends at Gaslight texted them. I was like, hey, let's throw this on. Our friend Meredith Hopping hosted it.
Okay.
So we had Sean Don. Doug Morris is a young guy that jumped on. He's very funny. Quentin Wilbert and Matt Wayman. Full house when I showed up at the end. So
I was wondering how that worked out.
Huge shout out to Gaslight, and they've got a new barbecue place, Gastro Pit, there. They've got pork steaks, Gardner. You'll have to go. And Schlafly supported us as well. Back to the pork steak.
Yeah. What kind of pork steak?
Smoked and real good. Yeah. They're back there smoking them all day.
Is it big?
Oh, doctor. They came through when I went by there to make sure everything was set up. They came through with a big tray of them. And I just did like this.
A tray of them?
I did this. Well, they'd been working on it. They'd been smoking them. And
so
I reached for them longingly.
They were finished ones. A tray of finished ones.
Oh, yeah. They needed to see.
How'd they smell?
Well, how do you think a pork steak? Oh, and Sam was on the bill. How do you think a smoked pork steak would smell? Yeah. No, here we go. Go ahead and play this game.
Oh, my God.
So huge thanks to Schlafly as well.
Jesus.
They hooked us up last minute.
Mother of
Gaslight, Jay Smuggs. Yeah, I did forget Sam Lyons, who's on the show today, but Sam was on the bill as well. But I wasn't there, and I didn't book him, so I'm not worried about it.
Look at this.
Returning.
Dropped the phone. He couldn't even do the bit.
From New York, back in studio at 8:15 Central Standard Time.
Oh.
It's a great Travis Terrell. Good to have you back, Travis.
Hello, everyone.
Which hawk was it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Namaste.
No. You have to face your issues in the room now. I'm actually happy to see you, but I'm trying not. What do we?
What camera?
I'm trying not to buy in
How's this work
to this
again?
stupid thing.
Okay.
So Travis Terrell's back from New York.
Can I have a hug?
How are you? Not right now. Maybe at break. We'll see how I feel about this.
He's real.
He's real?
He is real. Oh, Gardner. I'm
hey,
sorry.
you come back from New York and you kill one of our longest sponsors. Thank you.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Oh, wow. This is a real hug happening.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my gosh. This is crazy. Huh.
Oh, you look all right.
That was bad. That was Aunt Crystal. That was not nice at all. Good to see you, Travis Terrell.
It's good to be
Got
back.
you back
Hello,
in studio.
gents.
Still working it. Still, wow. Nick Freed's in the comments. He's saying, aw, you guys.
Aw.
So we've
I
got
a little,
emotion.
I got a little picture for you.
Oh, wow. I do look a little bit smaller. Welcome, Hack.
Oh,
Travis.
whoops.
Oh,
Ah,
wow.
typo.
Spelling.
Huh.
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
mean to call
Interesting.
you.
I think
Oh,
that's.
okay.
Whoops, hold
Yeah.
on, hold
You
on.
got
Wrong
There
one.
you go.
There we
Wow.
go.
Welcome
There.
back, Travis.
All right, and it's a balloon party.
Is that in?
Shout out to Joe Strauss.
Is that St. Louis?
Yes.
Like this city?
Yes.
This is your city. This is where you live now.
That looks really dope. That
They
is
don't-
really a nice photo.
They don't have that in Brooklyn.
They do not.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, I just thought about hot air balloons in Manhattan. That would be pretty damn hilarious.
That might be an issue.
So let's just jump right into it. What point do you stop saying, "Well, when I lived in New York"? Are we going a year, months, weeks? How's that going to work?
Oh, well, as a New Yorker,
We got to get our timing back. So
Yeah.
now we can get back to fun interrupting, not super annoying interrupting, because there's
feel-
a 7-second delay.
It is weird.
Are you still a New Yorker?
I would say I am a New Yorker.
Or are
No,
you a St.
he's-
Louisan again?
No. Gardner. I know this is all about Travis, but real quick, I just
You're
want
just a
everybody to know.
traveler.
I want everybody to know Travis has already laid out a month's worth of disappointment. As he said, he'll be assessing his options in St. Louis, which means
Smart.
the check still comes in, so he still is here. But if he just doesn't show up, he's like, "Yeah, I was out assessing options."
That's not specifically how it's going to go.
But
It's
it'll
not
go like that.
But now I'll call myself a new Lewisan because I'm still part St. Louis, but still a New Yorker. Because I walk those New York streets
Yeah.
and I pay New York bills. So I
Okay.
feel like I can claim
Are
New
you
York.
still paying those bills?
Yeah.
I would say that it
Did
came.
you leave some bills behind?
I didn't leave any bills behind, thank God.
You have no
Sean
parking.
once left New Mexico because he was afraid of drug dealers or
There was something going
coyotes, maybe.
on. There was
And-
there was a lot going
and
on.
coyotes.
I'm gonna say organizations of some sort.
Syndicate.
Syndicates would probably be the word we're looking for.
And believe it or not, coyotes.
Yeah, that would make a ton
I
of
see.
sense.
I'm just going to do that. If I want to drop, I'm going to say "and coyotes," and I'm going to make the drop
You're
sound.
doing a
Yeah. Okay.
push.
I think though St. Louis is the city where if you've had a very questionable past in other cities, that this would be the place to go for chapter 2 of that life.
St. Louis.
Yeah, like, cause who's gonna come to like no
one.
one's gonna come to St. Louis. 'Cause everybody's like, man, I ain't got time for that.
I've been
Anybody
dealing-
got time to go to St. Louis to try to find somebody to murder.
Flyover country.
It's absolutely flyover country. At the same time, are you really going to want to weave through the streets of St. Louis to find this individual? You're not going to go. The people who are looking for Sean on the West Coast aren't going to try to weave through the people of St. Louis and the streets of St. Louis to find Sean.
They
That
ain't
is
got
just,
time for that.
They ain't got time for that.
Had
So
a-
I think if you're going to hide in any city, St. Louis would be it. So
Had a meeting yesterday. The young man, successful young man, had been moved here for his job from Chicago, and he was talking about somebody else coming in for this particular company that will be working with us. And he says, he goes, "Well, they think they've hired a guy, and he's down to his choices of being Detroit and St. Louis. I think he'd pick St. Louis." He was very, and I go, "Well, maybe he went to Michigan." He goes, "Yeah, maybe." That St. Louis was
Detroit's
not
on an
a
upswing.
was not a first pick to Detroit in this guy's eyes. He's a smart guy. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I was like, "That's who we are."
Well,
So the question then is, did you do something?
I
to
did not.
have to be able to come back.
I didn't. I think that
Everything's
would,
okay?
I am still allowed in the state of New York and the city as well.
Okay.
Did you have relations with any girls that you're going to be getting calls from? Camera 2, please.
This is camera 2.
3, 4. Derek Dockett on standby. So good to have Travis back in the studio. We've got a Trav U. We've got Sam Lyons next hour. Travis, how was the trip back? Anything interesting? We saw a little bit of you in Chicago. What's
Man,
been going on?
I really tried my damnedest to try to get us to go live from Union Station, and it would not cooperate with me. But the trip was fantastic as far as getting back to St. Louis. I think my day yesterday started around 3:30 in the morning. Had to get to LaGuardia just around 4:30. Had to get through that security. Security at
They treat you like me?
man, it is. So my dumb ass, it's early in the morning, and so I'm already loopy because I had been up for a few hours because you're moving out. Because I decided.
He'd only had 2 bottles of wine that morning.
Well, I am the idiot who on paper thought it made sense to move out of his apartment and catch a plane in the same basically 12-hour period. So, yeah.
Doesn't sound like you at all.
No,
Actually,
that
it's
doesn't.
good practice for being on the run.
It really is.
Yeah.
It forces you to like if things get real, you're like,
Okay.
all right, man, I got to clean it up. I got to make sure I wasn't
Right.
never
You got to
here.
always know where your Groucho Marx glasses and
Yeah.
nose thing is.
And you make mistakes along the way that first time so that
Yes.
when you do it the second time, you can address those and be more prepared.
Absolutely.
So that's actually a good thing.
And so I basically threw everything I had taken with me and collected over 3 months, threw it in a suitcase, went to LaGuardia, went through that fun traffic search, and no one grabbed the back of my puppy's neck. And then hopped on that plane to Chicago, took a Chicago from Union Station to our Union Station because I love trains. And also, I'm a terrible procrastinator, and I bought my ticket very late to get back to St. Louis.
Yeah,
So
we
that
would've-
was the cheaper route.
Who would have thought that? Some comments. Ron Finger says Tommy looks different today.
Farmer's Tans really catching up to Tommy.
KFB, the gang's back together. Where's Hannah? Off being successful somewhere. Ron Finger has blamed Sam Lyons for the closing of Southtown Pub.
I heard about
He says
this.
Sam Lyons is killing the barbecue industry.
This is news.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, that's too bad. We had some awesome times.
You
there.
know what can I recommend if they are still listening?
I would.
New York. They should move their services to New York if they're
Are
looking
they
for a
lacking
bigger
barbecue?
Like
Hey, we've seen pictures of that Brooklyn barbecue.
Exactly.
That ain't barbecue.
That ain't
It's like a
barbecue.
pigeon.
Yeah. So actually, that does make some sense.
Was it the potholes? The potholes on Kings Highway? That'll
That-
do it. A lot of
that
people don't
got
want
'em.
to drive down Kings Highway because there'll be
Bridge work?
potholes.
Bridge work?
It was the bridge again. Did the bridge do it?
You know that-
What about
you know
Ballpark?
all-
Was it Ballpark Village?
you know
Ballpark
all-
Village is a badass. It
All
closes
bridges are
business.
working now. All bridges are working now.
Nice
The
try.
Compton Bridge,
Nice try.
smoothest ride in town.
Yeah.
For now.
Okay.
Yeah. They need to tear that one down and restart. Actually, there's quite a few of those around town. They don't want you to know which ones they are, though.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
It was weird getting to work today because I didn't have to take a subway. I think it was the first time
Did you stop at Subway on the way here?
I did not
Oh, okay.
Why were you late? Uber.
Uber.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to abide by the road by riding with a lovely older black gentleman.
That's who it is. An early morning Uber.
Early
rides.
morning Uber rides are African American men over the age of 45.
African American, not just African.
No,
I got African
African-American.
American. African American men. I think.
I took several Ubers over like a 2-week period, and I would always be hanging out with African dudes.
I think it's because it's where you live.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Maybe so.
they're like, I'm gonna pick up me a hot blonde woman.
I
that
don't
can
want
give
to
me my green card."
stereotype what happens when I get an African driver. I don't want to stereotype because I think that's unfair. But
They're
They
not,
somehow-
they're not upset they're from Africa.
no, but for some reason, I've had it 3 times, and every single time, they're upset. I don't know why they bring this up to me. Maybe they think that I'm like a white supremacist or something.
could be a
But
little
they
bit
don't
on.
like
Look
they don't
like
like African Americans, and I'm like, hey,
That's
man,
true.
I don't want to be involved in this
So true.
conversation. Could you back?
They trying to get
Look
you.
at me.
They trying to tag team your ass
Yeah.
here to come after us.
Are you recording? What's going on here?
Like I talked to this white man this afternoon, and look, he feels the same way about the
That's-
blacks as we do.
That's happened 3 times to me, and I'm like,
that is a
why?
very real thing. I know.
Yes.
I know an African charity that they were like, all we want to do is just get African Americans and African people liking each other. It's really weird that they don't. And I was
I
like,
had no idea
it's
this
a
was a
very
thing.
real thing. Yeah.
It is. Back in college, it was.
And
It
you
wasn't
have
a thing.
several Nigerian friends.
I have a ton of Nigerian friends, and I didn't realize it was a thing. I guess in society,
but they would
there
be
are certain
second
places-
generation.
Yeah, but I don't know where that.
Africans with an accent typically are in St. Louis.
I will say this. It's probably. I feel like it's a generational thing.
Yeah. yeah.
So I feel like maybe older blacks,
Yeah, that's
because
what it's
they
been.
didn't have. I don't know how that relationship was with African Americans and Africans coming up. I know that from my conversations with my friends that their parents experienced like a lot of the older generation blacks were very apprehensive or weren't receptive to them when they initially moved over here to the country. So a lot of people say that's what it stems from. But to Chris's point, a lot of second, third generation Africans and African Americans, it's different. Like I said, I think I want to say 80% of my friends are African. So
half of your jokes are goat jokes.
Yeah, and look. But and then they come back at me and go, "Hey, diabetes, want to talk some more?" And I'm like,
How about Matt Whitener with a great PSA? Hey, Chris, there's a black guy on the show in case you missed it. Matt Whitener, everybody. Uber's hitchhiking that you pay for from Lisa. Ron Fingers at PC to call them Nigerian. So that's where the conversation has headed.
That's what I said. I was just trying not to stereotype, but I've had it happen 3 times to me and different drivers in an Uber. And it's uncomfortable when you're bringing that conversation my direction.
Right.
Like,
is it nice?
Like, I always am one, especially in race relations, I normally acquiesce because I'm like, look, I'm a white boy that grew up in O'Fallon, Missouri.
I don't have a say in this.
I don't
know.
I can. Here's what I can tell you.
Sort it out yourself.
I'm telling you this. I don't know a whole lot. I had a mixed friend growing up.
Right.
That's the closest I have in perspective. Leave me out of it.
Yeah.
So is it nice when those dudes pick you up to not have to have the windows rolled down with your menthol in the car?
No.
Is that is that an add-on? Do you tip more?
No.
Oh.
I tell you, when it's just an
Is it
African
great
American
listening to
driver,
Sam Cooke every morning?
Well, that's the thing. Is if I get let's say middle-aged black man driving me, it's usually smooth jazz. It always smells good. It actually probably smells a little strong.
1,000%. That's exactly what my Uber ride was this morning.
It smells good.
It was spacious. It was a nice, cool 64 degrees inside of his vehicle. He offered me mints and water, and he was playing R&B.
Yeah.
You've probably slept with the same amount of white women?
I've heard the Tom Joyner morning show on some of my Uber rides in the morning.
It was a very delightful ride in, and that's why I was late, because I didn't want to be like, hey, man, can you speed it up? Because I was like, this is a very comfortable ride right now.
Right.
Because you might even
had to stop off at the best steakhouse.
I was like, oh, okay, you got to grab 4 coffees for yourself. Okay, do you, player?
Matt Whitener, it stems from those fake-ass Jordans the Africans sell at the swap meet at the St. Charles Rock Road Metrolink.
That is very specific. And probably very accurate.
Matt Whitener's been burned by a man from Uganda. Oh, gosh.
Matt probably bought some Jordans and, Michael Jordan logo probably had a thong on.
Yeah.
I think this is how the Jumpman is supposed to look. Why is he?
Is that Jumpman? Does he have a mohawk? What is that?
Why is the Jumpman shooting a free throw?
I
swear the Jumpman dunks.
Is that a granny form shot? That was very strange. Jordan never did that.
Granny form Jordan logo shot. That was
straight out of Uganda.
Outstanding.
Yeah, that's how it works.
This is Rick Barry. This isn't even Jordan.
Wait, this is his son Marcus. That's not even Michael Jordan.
Could we have at least got Harold Miner? God. It's great to have Travis back. It's also great that Buzz's Hawaiian Grill still works. I wore this shirt for them. Sure.
Well, I came back because the weather is nice, and they are strolling up and down the streets of St. Louis, providing some of the best Hawaiian-style food in all of the Midwest. It's our good friend, Buzz, at Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. Be sure to check them out. Chris, where are they today?
Well, you check their Facebook page is what you do.
Okay.
Their location.
How do I get to
St.
Facebook?
Louis. Well, it's you pull up your phone, your computer, you type it in, you yell at your mom, and then you go check it out. That's Buzz's Hawaiian Grill on Facebook.
Be careful, though, because Josh Hawley wants to make it so you can only be on social media 30 minutes a day.
I saw that. What's that all about?
We'll deal with him later.
Okay. All right. You got it?
Just as a teaser, we might have some shirts on sale soon.
Oh, boy.
You're putting more time into more shirts.
Yes. Involving Josh Hawley.
What would knock out our head? Does your headphones work, Travis?
Mine doesn't, but that's okay.
Neither do
I can hear you guys.
So,
but what would cause you to continue this pursuit of Josh? Josh, he's going to be in office for a while, so I want you to pace yourself. I understand why you are upset with him, but I would like for you to pace yourself because he's still a very powerful man, and I don't know what you have planned for yourself over the next 12 to 24 months, but I think you would like to see.
Does this end with Gardner getting backhanded on TV at a certain point?
That would be ideal.
That would be
Like, what if
ideal.
Holly can throw those hands a little?
But
Ooh,
that's
Like
all
enough.
But I just need him to hit me, and then we're done.
that's it.
What if he hit you with that Amir Garrett kind of weak-ass punch?
Well, then he
Like-
wouldn't have connected. Number
By
one.
the way, most disappointing.
Told you.
Turn of events.
Told
I'm
you.
very,
I told you, right?
Very, very, very disappointed.
Like
in
I
that.
can get like you miss like if you're gonna go into a crowd of 20 people, you gotta hit one. You can't be 6'8" African American athlete and not hit one person. Like you
one.
went into the crowd.
Not one.
So you had several options, several body parts, faces to hit, and you landed none. You were the biggest person in the brawl.
It's like if now what's that Game of Thrones scene called that we showed before?
Battle of the Bastards.
Battle of the Bastards. It's like, and that's Jon Snow. Is that who's in the
Yeah.
photo holding the sword? It's like if he went in charge and started swinging the sword, and it went on for 60 seconds,
And the-
and then everyone stopped for a moment and was like,
is he?
"Wait, no one. We're all. Everyone okay? We're okay.
I got some of my hair, but I'm good.
I don't have a scratch. What just happened? Like it's so confusing.
Disappointment of the week. Amir
Yeah,
Garrett.
like it's almost it's shocking that nothing really connected. Like it's that stunning.
I understood his anger because in that moment there are guys, we've seen it before, who will go into the corner and they'll start chirping and laughing and giggling to themselves. So
Sure.
I understood why he was motivated to go over there. But at the same time, if you're going to jump into a brawl, just pick one. Just pick one, baby. You're not going to get all six because you're going to get one. And I saw National Geographic where they were hunting this old lion down and the hyenas surrounded the lion. And you can tell the lion decided, look, this is probably it for me. I'm wounded. There's like 20 hyenas around, but I'm taking one of you with me.
What was that? Who?
One of you are going down with me.
Hyena.
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 Hyena? That's what they call it.
Hyena.
Hyena. Hyena.
Hyena.
H-I-H-E-E-N.
You come back
A.
down and just
Hyena.
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 you just come.
Why are you talking to that man?
I
Come
swear to
into
God,
town.
it wasn't. I was doing fine all summer.
Yeah.
And literally the lead up
the
to
fog
coming
of
back.
St. Louis.
And then now I can't speak for the same.
Matt Whitener crushing it in the comments. Them joints had Michael Jordan sitting the bench in them big ass jeans.
How great of a logo would that
Matt
be?
Whitener. It makes sense on the fight.
Hyena.
Hyena. See? She said it right.
Good to have her
Hyena.
back.
Hyena.
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 A grand total of 3 punches have been landed in NBA fights since Charles Oakley retired 15 years ago.
Very true. Now, yeah, I will say as much as I like to hype it up, NBA isn't exempt from this because someone made the example of when Shaq and Brad Miller fought and how
Yeah.
Shaq just absolutely whipped. Everyone's like, well, Brad Miller's 7'2", 250 pounds. I don't know how you miss that.
Yeah, that was bad.
But yeah, there have been some. I don't like. So everyone keeps saying like for baseball players it's because they want to protect their hands because it's their
Throw an
money
elbow,
makers.
bitch. You're running into people.
Thank you.
Hit him with a knee in the stomach.
Yes.
Get out of my face.
Ooh, a running knee would have been dope.
Do
See,
the,
a running
do the
knee.
Masvidal.
Yeah, oh, man, and he's like, what was a Garrett? Garrett's about 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah.
Has to be.
Oh my
You know how
God,
much
can you
torque
imagine
can-
that? So running down from the mound towards a group of guys,
Flying knee.
flying knee.
Two-piece and a soda.
That'd have been a wrap. Because you ain't who gon' now think about that. We've never seen an athlete use MMA abilities in
I
a
think
fight.
we will at
So
some
I were-
point.
Yeah,
If I
that's
were
what I'm saying.
Garrett,
So I'm wondering
we will.
who's going to be that player
Roy
that
Hibbert.
officially
Roy
does it.
Hibbert was doing a lot of jiu-jitsu, and that really scared me. I was like, that's
He's
that's a very
7'9".
giant person.
If
who
I were Garrett,
shouldn't
I
know
would
how
have
to
brought the
choke people.
baseball with me.
All right, Gardner. Do we really need to look into your?
Good God, man!
Yeah.
Would you got?
Good Lord!
Would you have got naked prior to running
No,
towards
no,
them?
no. But bring the baseball with me. This is how you land.
Oh my God! You just bring it and you just load up
As
and.
you're getting closer,
Oh my God, Gardner, you would.
don't throw it though.
Oh God.
Stick them with the jab with the other hand.
It's just it's a deke. It's a psych out.
Oh, so they go like this, so
Right.
they're in defensive
then
position,
bam.
and then you.
Wow.
Okay.
He's evil. He's literally evil. You worry me.
I didn't throw the baseball. I didn't do that. And it was oh you didn't. Oh, but you.
Now, what about-
I did fake him out.
what
but
about-
that's just strategy at that.
What about
point.
throwing it up in the air? Their eyes follow it.
That's my snowball strategy.
Or you could, yeah, you could do that. Or yeah, you can like.
It's basically the same thing. It's just you're doing it a different way.
Okay. That would be funny if like a player gets hit and they run towards the mound and they go, here, catch my helmet, that trick. Here, catch. And then they punch. Like
Well,
that would be pretty.
Bryce Harper's kind of tried that before.
Yes, he did. He
winged
threw the helmet.
Yeah.
Best fight in
It's
baseball
just moving
history.
the eyes a little bit. It's the same with the pitching strategy.
Right.
You're changing their eye positioning.
Yeah, it's great.
High, low. You're going up and down the zone.
That's a good way to
Obviously, we
explain.
know the Ventura and Nolan Ryan one.
Right.
That was fun. Also, that always gets cut off right before Ventura got loose and was going to get a hold of him. But Kyle Farnsworth, we've talked about this. I
That was
believe,
just the tackle
against the
one.
Reds.
Yeah.
2 punches landed, but they were meaningful, and he got a takedown.
But there's only been
Also,
one punch we've ever seen.
Kyle Farnsworth rearranged that dude's face. I thought he landed a couple hits.
Did
after
he? I thought he got the top of the
He
head.
took down, and then the guy was bleeding. I thought.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
whatever.
Odor against Bautista.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
Yeah.
the only one where I know where the punch actually
know it
landed and
landed.
was effective, and because Joey Bats even he got hit on and then his knees buckled.
He
Coco
didn't
Crisp.
fall though.
He didn't fall. He didn't fall, but it did. He did go. Oh shoot! You got that one.
Coco Crisp lands that one haymaker he threw. We might have never have seen James Shields eat again. Do you remember that?
Oh man, that's so long ago. I don't know.
Coco Crisp. So James Shields swung and missed. Coco Crisp head movement came back at him. Was probably 6 inches shorter than James Shields or whatever, but he threw a very nice punch that just missed. That I was like, if that would have caught him, that would have been real nasty. But yeah, there's never a satisfying end of these.
I've always feel like there, and I think I understand where Gardner's coming from, and I want to raise this question because while it's very strategic and very smart, especially when it's a fight, what is the overall feel from other athletes, especially professional athletes, in regards to you using that particular strategy? Because I think there are times I wouldn't ever charge the mound because it's almost like running uphill. You got a catcher behind you. You got the pitcher coming down from the mound. You're just in a situation where you're not going to get what you want out of the ordeal because it's going to be over before it starts.
Yeah.
So why not go ahead and walk to first as the pitcher gets set for the next batter? Then you charge said pitcher.
Yeah, now you're
then
talking.
you start whooping his ass.
Right,
But I'm curious, how would that be received?
Do you really want to fight, or do you want to dust up and get everybody going?
That's the question. So if you hit me with a 98 mile per hour, two-seamer, right in the ribs, in that moment, I'm in pain. Your catcher's behind me. It's a 60-foot run out to the mound. You have a lot of
You're
momentum.
probably hungover.
I hope not. But I go to first base. I'm going to take my first base because I'm like, I don't have the advantage right now. I'm going to get in position until I have the advantage. So I'm going to get to first, wait till you get set for your next set of pitches, and then I'm going to charge them out. Is that wrong? Smart, but
I'd be okay with it.
would you judge me as a man if I did that?
Is it a right-hander or a left-hander on the mound?
Righty.
See, then you're coming from behind though too.
Ooh, so they need to know that at least I'm coming. That's
Yeah.
to be fair. They need to know that it's still on.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. What if I leaned
So
up
if
to the
it's a
first
if
baseman
it's
and
a-
go, "Hey man, I'm about to go whoop your
Did he
pitcher's
tell
ass."
you I'm going to hit you in the ribs with that fastball?
That's a good point.
I think if it's a left-hander, you're good to go because they're then facing you. So that's okay. But if it's a
Some rules in
right-hander,
Gardner's life. Okay.
unless they're like doing a peer over, even then. And plus, you still have the first baseman to kind of be that catcher in the
Yeah, that's
situation.
true. So maybe in this instance, maybe the goal would be get to second. That way, righty or lefty, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fair. You don't have anybody behind you. So you have a clear shot at the pitcher.
In that case, I wait for them. I do want a little bit of a surprise with them. So I wait for them to check on me as a runner. They turn back and check at second. And then when they turn their head back is when I start to make my
I like
move.
that. I like
Because
that.
then my hope would be that they would check one more time and I've surprised them. And I'm not
Yes.
going to hit them beforehand.
Yes.
But I want to be somewhere else that I wasn't last time they looked because it'll startle them.
Okay.
I'll even wait. But then they know that I'm I'm thinking.
I think it's okay to have strategy in these fights. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the
That would
day, I
make
think
them
because if you're if
Probably have less of them.
Right,
Then you
yes.
essentially get the enforcer tag
Yes.
on a few guys.
Yes.
And it's like, do you not remember seeing what he did to that guy and he separated his jaw from it? Yeah, that doesn't. You don't want to throw in on him anymore.
and I feel like athletes should be more vocal about that. I think in press conferences after, I thought Garrett should have been like, look, you clearly have a problem with me or my teammates. Call those guys out and say, look, and whether they're in Cincinnati, hey, I know a guy that's got a gym. What are you doing tomorrow morning? But I think if you're going to get that angry, if you're that upset at someone, let's fight. Let's stop this dancing. Let's stop the theatrics. Let's fight. If Garrett is as upset as he said as he was.
I would. I mean, let's be honest. In all these situations, I'm not fighting.
Oh, I'm not fighting either, especially if it's an athlete the size of Amir Garrett.
Even if you're my teammate, I'm not helping you out.
Right.
I don't know. I think I'd probably go after Amir Garrett now after seeing that. I'm like, I'm pretty out of shape, but I know that you're going to open up for about 5 seconds.
Exactly. But and that's my thing. I'm trying to understand. Like, I get these guys in the moment, heat of the moment. You want to defend your teammate, but it's called a fight. Someone wins, someone loses.
Well,
And
I think we
generally,
all lost because I overhyped.
You
what
did.
happened.
You were. I tried to warn you, man.
So
I'm
fun.
so sorry.
So fun. So Travis Farrell's back. We're let's see if he's got this one. St. Louis Counseling Services. They work with us.
St. Louis Counseling Services. Look, after a time in
Careful.
a city like New York,
Careful.
you may need time to decompress. You want to find out, hey, who can I talk to about these things?
Oh, who would you call?
Who would I call? You know what? I would travel all the way back to St. Louis because if I want some of the best service with some of the finest people, I go to St. Louis Counseling, improving lives since 1955. You know
What's their podcast called?
Their podcast is called
You've been on it.
Mental Health Matters.
Wow, you really had to dig this.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's right
Where
because
can you
it's a
download it?
podcast here in Midcoast Media Studios.
The
Oh,
website.
boy.
The website.
The website, of course, is St. Louis Counseling inside of the Google
.org.
box.
St. Louis Counseling.
What's the Midcoast Media website?
Midcoast Media
Nope.
/ 30333.
You Joe Biden?
Is that not it? That should just text Joe at 34632.
Nailed it.
St. Louis Counseling Services, providing the best.
How does this happen? How does? Why? You can't just fly here and not talk.
The studio, man.
I don't.
By the way, speaking,
Brooklyn doesn't make you smarter.
it does it. Does not. But I do love the studio. I will say I enjoyed my time, and I love the city of New York. New York is an old city. The buildings are old, and so
Then why they call it New York?
That's a good question.
Good question. Need to be asked.
Hey, thank you. But so the building I was living in, very nice, but old building, and so it lacked central air. Had a window unit, which is no match for New York when you're underneath a heat dome. And so to be inside of a studio with nice AC,
You gonna get soft again?
walls not falling on top of your head,
Was that a
rats
legitimate
about the size
concern?
of cats, it feels good. This is really nice. I see the little lights. It's all green in here. Do they change colors?
They do.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can do black.
Black light.
You want to do black lights on a black curtain?
Oh, yeah.
That's a new thing.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Black on black?
Oh, yeah.
I think that makes the most sense.
Let's give it a shot.
So we've got a trav view of Travis's travels, actually. And I don't know, Gardner, you want to hit it?
Yeah, why don't
It's time for
Oh, wow. He's back.
the Drive You.
It sucks.
Hey, camera 3. It's been a while. Been a minute, in fact. It's good to see you. Now that I'm back in studio, I would like to say hello to all the fine ladies of St. Louis.
Oh boy.
Grandmama Evans, what's up, baby girl? JPD, how you doing? John Beebe's parents? Hello, mate.
Parents?
Beth's parents are too nice for me to say
Oh,
anything
wow.
bad about them.
So mine aren't nice. Okay.
No, your parents are incredibly nice.
Oh.
But they're like, we go back.
Yeah.
Your mom has cooked for me.
All
She's
right.
cleaned for me. She's been there for me.
Chris Sear
She's
is
given me-
super upset that he wasn't invited in with Travis back on, but I suggested he should be excited that a black dude took his spot because he's so woke. As Sam Lyons joins us next hour.
That's very true.
We've got a Trav-U. What are we Trav-Uing today? Gardner, Travis, whoever talks?
Well, we are traviewing the Big Apple.
That's me eating an apple.
That's how. That's Tommy's move. Tommy gets to do sound effects.
Sorry.
Travis has spent how long? 3 months there.
3 months in the big city.
Let's kind of recount maybe some of the best and worst times
It's
of
like
your
a
trip.
semester abroad, kind of.
Yeah.
There
How you've changed.
goes my hero.
You're not going to be like the SLU kids. It's pronounced Barcelona, and you're going to say it's pronounced Brookline or something like that.
Right. Well, in New York,
In New York, we drink our cappuccinos with leaf imprints on the
Actually,
top.
King Shyway.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
that's actually what my direction thing says sometimes.
King
and
Shyway.
It bothers me. Like, how can I read this? Throw my phone.
It's a Neuterol Bridge.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Neuterol Bridge.
We've had this wrong the entire time.
The entire time, you idiots. Yes, 3 glorious months in the lovely city of New York, and boy, was it a time.
concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Oh, there's me. Look, I'm waving.
Oh, wow.
What a beautiful city.
Right next to that big old rat.
Yeah. The coolest thing, for those who, of course, have been in New York, they're very familiar with this, but the really neat thing is when you are coming into the city or into Manhattan, and you come up from the subway, and there it is. It's in all its glory. It's just steel on glass, on people. And it's absolutely just, it's everything. It's so much energy. What you see, it's like right now in that picture, it's a very busy picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what it is every day. The photo I think I may have shown to you, Gardner, it was on Monday afternoon. It was just hordes of people everywhere in Times Square. The city just has a vibe and an energy to it. That's me. That's when I went to Times Square, and it was.
You had a good selfie from there.
I did.
Let me find it here.
It
real
was
quick.
very hot.
There it
It's
is.
always hot.
I like this shot.
So there's me in the heart of the city. Quite a time. I was heading off to a meeting.
Kind of a distorted background. The focus on you. It's a nice shot. Maybe we get this in the Pulitzer
Oh.
You think so?
exhibit.
Oh,
at the
wow.
Missouri
I
History
can, maybe
Museum.
I'll just go ahead and print that out and just walk it over there today.
Just leave it there.
Just leave all the people. Oh, that's powerful.
Take a little tack, put it on the wall. Like
Oh,
it
you could
belongs.
use your T-pens.
I got plenty of T-pens.
Gardner, the most exciting thing in his life since you've been gone that's happened is he's acquired T-pens.
What a T-pen.
These little pens to keep the foam panels up on the wall. If you see this
Oh, I
bottom
see
left
it.
one,
Oh, okay.
it hides it pretty
Yeah, it
well, but it
does.
also goes in deeper into the wall and
That's
keeps
what
them
she
up
said.
better.
Nice. Like
So-
when they go deep, we still do deep. Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible.
We almost had it. We'll get it down.
Get there.
But yes, I'm trying to think where to start. I've been trying to think of a way to appropriately describe New York, and because I knew we were going to do the Trap View, and I wanted to
Not this way.
not specifically that. No,
I'm really upset you didn't do a live show from outside of Trump International, but
Just what's so funny about that now is that just there are so many progressive liberal institutions that surround that hotel. Like, so you have the Lincoln Center right around the corner from that.
Yeah.
That's liberal elites, literally. The richest families in New York have seats at the Lincoln Center. It's down the street from Trump International. So that's it's a nice looking building, but it's funny, and I think I may have said this before when I started, like, people walk past the building with little shame. Like, they're just like, their head goes down like, how did we let this son of a bitch on the world? How did we had the chance to stop them, and we just let it go. You can just tell New Yorkers are just like, that's on us. My bad. My bad. But the best way I describe New York as a city on the brink of a breakthrough or a meltdown, and everyone lives on the very edge of that.
Okay.
So
Well said.
it's a day where if you see people on the streets, you can see like they are one big moment away from a breakthrough, like either in their career, their personal lives, or they're literally just a day or two away from
Living in their
losing it
car.
all.
Yeah, right.
And you can feel it. You can, like, everyone, because it's New York, the opportunities are there, the chances are there, and it's the big time. And you can tell, like, even the most seasoned people who have been through a lot in their life, who have the experience in the background, are still like, man, this still can go one or two ways. There's nothing guaranteed.
Right.
So I think the energy behind nothing being guaranteed and knowing that you have to go all out in order to get it creates this vibe. and it's really cool to be a part of. But then again, I also say it depends on where you are in your life. If you're a family person, some aspects may greatly annoy you.
Could you walk through a busy part of New York with like 2 small children?
No, I couldn't. I personally could not. I have friends who've had children, and they
Obviously, people do it, but
right.
yeah.
It's something I would have trouble with personally, because for me, I love I got somewhere to be. I love that attitude because everyone does have somewhere to be. And so I don't like the waiting and holding hands and standing around. That's when my anxiety starts to build up, because I'm like, no, we can't stop because everything's moving. So I think if you have a family, there are certain aspects of New York that you may not care for. But if you're single and you're like myself and you're in your career and you're trying new things, then it's perfect. If you're the kind of person that's, look, I don't know what to expect that's going to come tomorrow, but I would like to, give it a shot. New York's for you.
Did you? I'm a big fan of park benches. Did you find a park bench at all? Because I know you've got. There's one shot you sent me of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, my
there's the
goodness.
Brooklyn Bridge Park.
One of my favorite places in New York is Brooklyn Bridge Park. And that shot right there, I absolutely love that shot because the Brooklyn Bridge is so gorgeous. It's so vintage New York. It's that shot. If I went to the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge, it's the shot from Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah.
And it got that. You have, of course, the city in the background, but you have that massive Brooklyn Bridge in the foreground. And this is one of my favorite parts of that city because it's an odd calm. So you're on the other side of the river, and
Not
you
a
have
whole
the
lot of
bridge,
that there.
and you can see the steel, you see everything at work, but you're in the safety of being on the other side of the bridge. So, but that's a shot that you can get if you come in I believe, from the Brooklyn side, and it looks just like the picture.
Yeah, but have you been to the Arch?
That's also true. So they don't have an arch.
Wow.
Well, they do have an arch, but it's not our arch.
I'm glad you found a park.
There's several parks. You would love the park. There are parks everywhere.
Yeah, I love parks.
It's a beautiful thing about Brooklyn is that it's a park like every 4 or 5 blocks for the community, and people, they don't just go in there to just hang out. People have events and families there, and there's live music and something for the kids, and there's circus and there's water, and there's always something going on.
You didn't get to it, but I did get jealous when I realized they were actually doing like a sailing event on the lower Hudson that one weekend. And I was like, man, that looks like that would be awesome just to watch from the
Not
side.
only did they do a sailing event, and this is just New York in a nutshell. Not only do they do sailing events, they have a Grand Prix. It's a Brooklyn Grand Prix. They had the Formula One cars 2 weekends ago.
Oh, really?
Driving through the streets of Brooklyn. It was
Crazy.
awesome.
It's wild.
So that's
When those crash, it's like they're not hitting a barrier. They're probably hitting a business.
But the funny thing is, like, it's like there are streets available for that, and it's gorgeous. You have these beautiful Formula One vehicles driving through the streets of Brooklyn with Manhattan in the background.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, it's this sweet ass city. It's a freaking Grand Prix. It's a contest. Look, it's happening outside my window.
Now you also became a coffee shop guy.
Oh
it seems.
boy, did I ever!
Are you
Already
gonna
missing.
have to really
Already
find
missing.
one for yourself here now?
Do they have coffee places here in St.
Yes,
Louis?
they have
Do
plenty.
they have those things?
Yeah, it's
plenty.
interesting how you
I
do
guess
that.
I'll hear. I heard about them. I'll see.
There are 4 in my neighborhood alone that I can think of.
New York is the capital of coffee, world capital of cafes, and boy, oh boy, I would love to see a comparison of liquor stores to urban cities to coffee shops to Brooklyn, because I think 1-to-1 they're pretty close. There's a coffee shop on the corner every 2 corners in Brooklyn, and that's just Brooklyn.
It's like bars in this town.
It isn't. And the thing is, it's necessary because, again, you have a lot of people there who are starting their own individual businesses. There are people who work for themselves, so they need spaces, and they provide that in New York. As far as just, look, man, we know you live in a basically box of an apartment. We know you don't have space to type, and we would imagine you want to get out of that box. So we're going to open up a brand new. And it doesn't make sense. Like the coffee shop, it's like, I think I told you about what was going on.
I think when you're in an innovation area, it makes sense to have as many. Like even in my neighborhood, I said there's 4 I can think of. Cortex is right there.
Yes.
So and now I just thought of 5 because there's one in Cortex too. There used to be another one there. There used to be 6 because Tim Hortons used to be there until Lion's Choice moved in there. So in areas like that, which might have innovation, might have startup, it makes sense, like you said.
You would, and I think again, if you are, I think the Brooklyn especially, their goal is to attract younger career folks, so they can get them to stay long term, and so it's almost as if they said, "All right, millennials, what the hell do you want?" And Brooklyn decided to basically just build those things. So the coffee shops are absolutely everywhere in that city, but they're very delightful, and they're a great place to meet people too. I met some really nice people in these coffee shops.
I remember early on, you said you tried a hot dog, but instead you got one with ketchup on it only.
I failed.
Like a child.
I did. That was day one in New York. I didn't know what I was doing.
Did
with
you
my
have
life.
other hot dogs?
I did not, because
What would you go back and tell that Travis now?
Hey man,
There it is.
that's it.
Perfect.
That's it. I say it just like that.
There's a hot dog vendor here in town that I think you should try.
Okay.
It's down at 6th and Olive, right behind the Met Building. His name is Carlos, best vendor in town.
Okay. Thanks, Carlos.
So I highly recommend trying that out if
So,
you want a hot
okay.
dog.
All in all,
It
how
is-
many booties?
It is the best way I describe New York. For me, every day was Super Bowl Sunday. And I was actually in the Super Bowl. So it was incredibly exciting. Some
Were you the
anxiety.
Patriots or the Rams?
I was the Rams, of course. Come on now. But it's a beautiful city. I can't believe it took me so long to get up there. I give New York. I've never done this.
Oh,
Never done this, guys.
so
This
a
is a
scale
good-
of 5 booties.
I'm gonna double up, boys. I give New York City 10 booties.
Respect that ass.
Why do we even have a scoring system
Yeah, I
anymore?
don't even-
We
he
got to
just-
adjust the
he
scoring
does.
system.
We're
then.
gonna
Not
have
only
to
do I respect
Take
that
up to
ass,
10,000.
I want to marry that ass.
Wow.
Respect that
I
ass.
may marry that ass. I'm just saying. I may marry that ass.
And you
Not only do
maybe-
I respect it, I may marry it. I'm thinking about it.
Wow.
Thinking about marrying that ass.
How has New York changed you?
It has made me a little bit more decisive. It has made me
Meaner?
I
More
will say
More insulting?
I do have new guards up. Like, so this morning in my Uber, like, he was incredibly nice, and I forgot how that was. And not that people in New York were mean to me. It was just I was just so used to just people being in their own world,
Yeah.
doing their own thing. So people talking to me, I'm still getting adjusted to.
So are you going to be mean to us still?
Good question.
Guys,
Content has suffered.
it's tough love. And when I say tough love, it's
Will we be getting any of the
will-
skills you acquired? Will we be seeing brave new writing segments for this show? Shall we start hosting a writer's showcase in our office that the intern told me about?
I tell you what, it's on.
Oh boy. Let's take a quick break. Big thanks to Tech Electronics for sponsoring, for making sure that our studio is taken care of. Tech Electronics is a technology services organization headquartered right here in St. Louis. Network of 9 offices across the Midwest. At Tech Electronics, they specialize in life safety and communication systems, education, healthcare, construction, government, commercial, industrial, small business, and worship industries. They design solutions to fit each site's unique layout and priorities. Hit them up. Website, techelectronics.com. Huge thanks. What was that? Whoa, no. Travis is in the
Tech
camera.
Electronics.
It's
Let
menthol
me
time.
Tech it up.
We'll break and get Sam Lyons in here. There could be some rivalries forming. I believe Sam was under the impression he was the new black guy. We'll get into that and more after the break.
Peace. Oh, wait.